Welcome students, I am Dr. Deepesh Bharadwaj and I welcome you all in this lecture number 1 of chapter 1 chemical reaction and equation for class 10th CBSE. Right, in this video lecture we are going to talk about chemical equation and chemical reactions and balancing chemical reaction. Okay, so I'm going to start a series of video lecture which will cover whole science from class 10th. Right, so let's start with this first video lecture. I hope you will like this, and don't forget to like and subscribe my channel so that you can get the notification of new videos whenever I upload. Okay, so let's start with some chemical reactions. But before talking about and understanding chemical reaction, let's just have a look at some daily life cases. Like this is the case 1. In this picture you can see what is this. This is a milk. Okay, when you kept this milk overnight, it is get converted into curd. Okay, so milk is converted into curd. So do you observe anything, any change in this according to your previous classes information? Any change in nature and identity of initial substance? Yes, there is a change. Let's have a look at the another case. This is a nail, and this is, what is this? It is get corroded, or you can see the corrosion, or it is you can see the rusting over the surface of this nail. So this is also a change. So here also you can see a change in nature and identity from initial to final state. Okay, next there is a case of see, you all have used bread and some South Indian dishes like idli and dosa and dhokla. So what is the change in this? For example, if I talk about a dough or wheat flour dough, which is get converted into a bread, there is a change. Definitely yes, there is a change. Right, there is a change in gram flour mix and which is used to make a dhokla. There is a change from initial and final stage, like nature and identity is changed from initial to final state. Right, so according to your NCERT book, there are some activities are given to make you understand more easily and practically how and what is chemical reaction. In this image you can see that a magnesium ribbon is taken over a burner, and when a magnesium ribbon or a magnesium strip is burned in presence of oxygen, what we can see a flash and a powder on the floor. Right, so when we burn a magnesium ribbon in presence of oxygen, we can observe easily a flash light and a powder on the floor. So this is also a change in nature and identity of initial substance. Like, okay, so where can you guess where this dazzling white light is used? You might have seen some antique cameras in which you may have seen a blast flash, which is, or the flash bulb, which is used once, okay, to give a flash, and after that we have to replace those bulbs. So those bulbs are made up of a magnesium magnesium ribbon, and this magnesium is burned once and generate a white light, which is being used to take the pictures. Right, so this dazzling white flame and white powder is the change in nature and identity of initial substance. So this is the activity 1. In activity 2, observe the changes when we add potassium iodide in lead nitrate solution. What will happen when potassium iodide is added into lead nitrate? A yellow color precipitate or the solution is turned yellow. Okay, so there is a change. It means when both the liquids or solutions are taken separately, they are transparent, but when we mix them together, a yellow color precipitate is clearly visible. It means there is also a change in nature and identity if we compare the product from the initial substances. Right, another activity is there, and observe the changes, and this is the addition of acid in zinc granules. Okay, what will happen when we add an acid in zinc granules? The formation of hydrogen gas is observed. So hydrogen gas is observed. So all these are activities and all these daily life cases what we have seen in previous slides are nothing but the changes in substances from their initial to final stage. It means something is changing, right? So what we can conclude from these activities and these daily life examples, from the above 3 activities we can basically confirm the following changes, like change in state, change in color, evolution of a gas, and change in temperature if we touch the outer surface of the vessel or test tube. It means a chemical change is taking place, and chemical change, it means the substances which are in contact with each other are reacting with each other and forming some new product which is entirely different from the substances taken. Right, so if all these changes can be observed, it means some chemical reaction is happening. Let's talk about chemical equations. Okay, but before chemical equation I'll talk, just have a look at the word chemical and equation, the etymology of chemical and equation word. So the word chemical is originated from alchemia in the medieval Latin, which then converted into alchemius in medieval Latin again, and this word then converted into chimique, a French word, and then in modern Latin it is converted into or transformed into chemicus, and then in English this word alchemy become very popular and known, and from these words the word chemical originate in late 16th century. So this is just for the sake of information. It would be a very informative and exciting to know the origin of words. And second word is equation. Equation means making equal, and this originate from Latin equare, which converted into equatio, and then to equate, English word, and from equate to it become equation in late middle of the century. Right, so this is the origin of these two words. Let's start again from activity number 1. In activity number 1, what we have seen, or if we want to describe the activity 1, it can be like the magnesium ribbon is burned or reacted with oxygen to form magnesium oxide as a product. So this could be a description of activity number 1, but this description is very lengthy and it is taking time. So to make it short and save the time, it can also be written as like magnesium plus oxygen, then a arrow, then magnesium oxide. So we can also write the above description in the form of this or in this pattern, right? So this pattern, in which you can see on left hand side magnesium and oxygen are reacting, or they are in contact with each other because there is a plus sign between them, and the arrow towards the right hand side is showing that after reacting magnesium and oxygen we have a magnesium oxide as a product, right? So this is the chemical equation. In this chemical equation you can see the chemicals on left hand side called as reactants and the product right hand side are equal, right? So this is chemical equation. Like the previous reaction can also be written as magnesium plus oxygen gives MgO, magnesium oxide. So we have converted the previous equation into its chemical symbols, right? In this reaction or in this representation, the sign of plus indicates that these two reactants or elements or atoms are reacting together, and the sign of arrow shows the direction of the reaction. For example, in this case the reaction is proceeding from left to right, okay? So this is the chemical reaction, and the left hand side represent the reactant, those who are reacting or taken up together, and the product which is different from the reactant is on right hand side. So this is chemical reaction. Let's see activity number 2, in which acid is make in contact with zinc granules. So we can write zinc plus sulfuric acid, and this will give zinc sulfate plus H2 or hydrogen. So this is the same representation of activity number 2, and this can also be written by using their chemical symbols like this. So this is what? This is a chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is the representation of reaction using the symbols of reactants, okay, or elements or atoms. So let us examine the number of atoms of different element on both the side of the arrow. So in this particular reaction, what we have some elements, number of atoms on left hand side and number of atoms in the product at right hand side. So like we have elements on left hand side and even in right hand side is zinc, hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen, and on right hand side also zinc, sulfur, oxygen and hydrogen. But what is the number of atom on left hand side and right hand side? So you can easily calculate that on left hand side we have 1 zinc, 2 hydrogen, 1 sulfur and 4 oxygen, right? So this is it. And on right hand side we can calculate that 1 zinc, 1 sulfur, 4 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. So this is it. It means the number of atoms of elements involved are same on both left and right hand side, right? It means this reaction is balanced. So this is the balanced reaction because the number of atoms on left and right hand side are same. So this is why this chemical reaction is balanced. So a chemical reaction is balanced when number of atoms on both the sides are same. From activity 1, that is where magnesium is burned in presence of oxygen to form MgO, what is given here is that on left hand side we have magnesium 1 on left hand side, 1 on right hand side, and oxygen on left hand side we have 2 oxygen and on right hand side we have 1 oxygen. So it means this reaction is not balanced because the number of oxygen are not equal on both left and right hand side. So this reaction is not balanced. So now I hope you have an idea of balanced and unbalanced chemical reaction. Okay. Now let's see how we can balance a chemical equation. Okay. Let's try to balance the following chemical equation, that is Fe plus H2O gives Fe3O4 plus H2. So there are certain steps which you have to follow while balancing a chemical equation, and these steps are given here in this slide, and after that we will discuss one by one all the steps, right? So step 1, to balance a chemical equation, first draw the boxes around the atoms involved or around the elements or the reactants, around the reactant and the products. Okay. Step 2 is the list the number of atoms of different elements. Okay, list the number of atoms of different elements in the whole reaction. Number 3 or step 3 is start balancing with the compound that contains the maximum number of atoms. Okay. Step 5 is balance the atoms that are still not balanced. After step 4, balance the atoms that are still not balanced. So step 4 and 5 are to balance one by one the unbalanced atoms. Number 6 or step 6 is to check the correctness by counting atoms of each element on both the sides. Step 7, writing symbols of physical states on different atoms. And step 8 is some reaction conditions if given in this chemical reactions. So we have to mention them over or below the arrow. So let's start. We have to balance this chemical equation. And step 1 says to balance the chemical equation, first draw the boxes. So okay, let's draw the boxes around the reactants like Fe under box, H2O, Fe3O4 and H2. So this is the first step. Now step 2, list the number of atoms of different element. Okay, so let's make a list of elements and number of atoms in reactants left hand side and the products on right hand side. So the elements are iron, hydrogen and oxygen on both the sides, right? And on left hand side we have 1 iron, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, and on right hand side we have 3 iron, 4 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. Okay, so is this clear? I hope till now you don't have any issue. So this is the list of number of atoms. Now move on to step 3. Start balancing with the compound that contains the maximum number of atoms. So the number of atoms are 4 in case of oxygen. So we will start balancing with oxygen. So to balance the oxygen atom, see, we have to balance the atoms on both the sides, right? But in this case, in this chemical reaction, we can see that on right hand side there are 4 oxygen, but on right hand side there is only 1. We cannot change the compound taken or given in chemical reaction. In this reaction, oxygen is present in H2O and there is 1 oxygen on left hand side. So what we can do, we can make it 4. What? We can make the H2O of left hand side, or the 1 molecule of H2O given on left hand side, we can multiply it by 4 so that we can have how many oxygen? 4. And in this way we can balance the oxygen on both the sides, right? Okay, so oxygen is now balanced, right? So what we do, we have converted or multiplied H2O by 4. Here you can see. Now the oxygen is balanced. So let's move on to the next step. So I have highlighted the change in chemical reaction. Now the chemical reaction can be seen as 4H2O, which is originally is only H2O in this reaction. Now let us again move on to step 4 and balance the next atoms, that is iron and hydrogen. So first we will try to balance iron. See, in left hand side we have 1 iron, but on right hand side we have 3 iron. It means we have to increase the number of iron on left hand side. This is already been done. So atoms of hydrogen, initial 8 and final, and to balance 8. So in this slide we are balancing not iron, we are balancing hydrogen. So on this stage we have 4 into 2, that is 8 hydrogen on left hand side, but on right hand side we have 2 hydrogen. So we have to make this 2 hydrogen to 8 hydrogen, and that can be done by multiplying hydrogen with 4. Okay, so what we have done, this we have already done, and this is the change in this step. So the hydrogen is now become 8 on right hand side. Now we have to balance iron atom which is still not balanced, and this can be balanced by, you can easily see that on left hand side in reactant there is 1 iron, but on right hand side in product we have 3 iron. So what we have to do, we have to multiply the iron on left hand side by 3. Okay, so what we have done, we have make a change like this. The iron is multiplied by 3. This is the first balancing change. This is the second balancing change to balance the hydrogen, and this is the third one to balance the iron. Now move on to the next step. Finally we have to check the correctness, and this is the final equation, and the final equation can be checked for correctness by checking or counting the number of elements on both left hand side and right hand side. So here we can easily see that iron is 3 on both side, hydrogen are 8 on both side, and oxygen are both 4 on left and right side. So it means this reaction is balanced. After that we have to add the physical state notation on the reactants and the products, like whether it is in gas form, liquid form and solid form. So we have to mention this is the original balanced reaction, and what we have to do, we have to mention the physical state, like Fe is in solid state, H2O in vapor state or gas state, Fe3O is solid, and H2 is in gas form. So this is the physical state notation on chemical reaction. If the chemical conditions are also given, so the conditions are to be mentioned over and below the arrow, like in next reaction, that is carbon monoxide plus 2H2O. So this is all about balancing chemical equation, and this is it from my side for this video lecture. I hope you like this video lecture, and I am expecting that you will watch all my videos, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe my channel. So thanks for watching my video, and don't forget that the material presented in this slide is taken from NCERT book, because nothing is better than NCERT books. Right, so thank you so much for watching my video, and see you soon in next video lecture, which will complete this chapter. So thank you so much, keep watching my videos, and see you soon.